Right. Harrogate. This is 60 odd miles. Bit of a training test for him, really. Now recently my trapping has been terrible with the young birds. They've circled, they've gone on the roof, they've not gone in straight away, and I've lost quite a few positions from that, I think, looking at the results.
It's one thing I've yet to put much effort into, as you can see here. For me, trap training is laborious and boring, but there's no doubt that it's an important thing to do if you don't want to chase your pigeons around the garden like a Benny Hill sketch. Anyway, that's enough of that.
And so the last couple of weeks I've spent quite a lot of time really trying to get them drilled. I'm probably a bit late really, but drilling into them that food is in that, through that trap.
So I set up the camera to see how the birds trapped when I took them on a 20-mile training toss, and from the lack of shadows across the garden, I determined that the weeks of training them to trap faster, even with nobody to call them in, was paying off.
And so I've sent them slightly hungry to this race, with it being short, only 55 miles. So I'm hoping that today, it's unlikely because the short races, they always struggle, they're full of energy. 55 miles is nothing for these birds now. So they're probably going to have too much energy when they get back. Hopefully they'll want to get back in and get fed. But we'll see, we'll give it a go. Then next week it's back to 100 miles and then we start climbing up a little bit, and I should hopefully see rewards from that, because the birds are fit now for sure.
The morning of the race, and I'd heard that both the Up North Combine and the West Durham Amalgamation were just 10 miles up the road. So at 6 AM I made my way there to watch some of the 20,000 birds liberate, albeit across 5 or 6 cuts, which means they don't all go together, but it was still a great sight to witness. So here's a few minutes of that without me talking over it.
Come on, pigeons. Oh, an hour and 5 already. If they come from that direction, we've got a good chance, but not on the time we're on now. Bollocks. It's always disappointing when they don't come quick. You sort of go from race winning mentality to salvage operation. Just hope they all come back. That I started with. Started the first race with 23, only sent 22 because one was injured, but 23. And by race 4 we've still got 23, but right now I've got 0. Yeah, think about it that way, I've got 0. I don't have any young birds. I think I'll eat this in a minute.
Eventually, after almost falling asleep on the hammock, the first bird flew into view. How would it trap? Well, there's one lap. And there's another.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Not the greatest, but certainly better than before, considering they were fed for a longer race point during the week.
At least that's one anyway. Big batch of them now, look. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Two of them missed the pad. Come on. Come on. You mine? No, you're not mine. Two of them missed the pad. I need a wider pad. Ah, fucking, I just annoy myself here. You know what it is? I cannot bring myself to spend the money on a Bricon. I can't bring myself to spend 100 odd quid, whatever it is, 180 quid. Might even be more than that, on a piece of plastic and copper wire. Right, bit of a sit rep where we are now. We've got 10 birds back from 23 after just over 2 hours, which isn't brilliant, but after my first 5 arrived, an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes after they were liberated, Ian rang me and asked if I had any. He didn't have any. I think another chap in the club's only had 3, so not a good race for us at all. And we've got less than half back so far. 2 hours and 7 minutes, so not good. But you know, I was pretty cheesed on another race that we had. It was similar. We had 1 bird and then 1s and 2s and then 1s, and they came all day, but eventually we ended up with all of them. So hopefully we get them all back. I think I just think they're not breaking. I think they're going with the flock, whichever direction that is, and then only breaking when they start to get a little bit tired maybe, and that's going to be a long time now because they've been up to 100 miles. So, and on a day like today, like there's no sun at all. It's full cloud. So I don't know this for sure, but I suspect that they're full of energy, fully fit. So they just get in a flock and fly, and then when they start to get tired, go, I think probably better head home. And by that point, they've probably already gone past us, especially with a northeast wind. So then they've got to try and turn around and find their way home. Nobody really knows though, do they, what racing pigeons think? But I'm hopeful that they'll all make it back, or most of them will make it back today. They want to. But yeah, so we're going to go and do the clocks at 1 o'clock in 15 minutes, so I won't be able to time them all in. Interestingly, I've just gone through the clock, and half of the birds I've got, which is 10, half of them are from TMP breeding. So that all of those are back now, all 5 are back, so that's pretty good. But you know, I'm hoping that some of the other birds back. No bee rings, so no money birds, unfortunately. Yeah. Just crack that. Right, let's up a bit, shall we? So the good news is we got the first 5 in the club. The bad news is the club only sent 53 birds. 3 members, so not great really. and we were way down in the federation results. Birds we got from TMP breeding, they were first, second and fifth. 1998, Darlow 94 and Zidane 98. That was the offspring of that one, is our third bird back. And our fourth bird back was from Callahan, Noel Callahan. So, and the fifth obviously was TMP breeding again. So 3 from TMP breeding, 1 from our best pairing and 1 from Callahan. But the velocities were just so slow. You know, we're down at 1200, 1296 first, and then 1245, 1244 yards per minute. And I think I know why. I like to spend a lot of time looking at this map, and the wind for this particular race was an east wind, which it's always going to put us at a disadvantage, because it blows the birds to the west of the country, and we're one of the furthest east lofts. This is us here, and most of the winners seem to be here. They just sort of follow this line, I think, and you know, there's nothing we can do about that. That's where the majority of the drag is. And with the old birds, it doesn't seem to matter so much, but with the young birds, it really does. And so unless we're racing over this side, I think we're going to struggle. And I don't think any of our race points are to the east of us. I think the young birds are flying down with the majority down here, and then they're going past where they should turn off and then doubling back. I think they're doglegging. How do we stop them doing that? That's the question. So while I remember, don't forget there's a Facebook page for How to Train Your Pigeon. If you want to come along, join that. There's 3 questions to answer, so answer those 3 questions. Make sure you've got a profile photo, because I don't bother accepting if you haven't got a photo, or, you know, just to try and avoid the spam, basically. But that's it. £2,000 on the line here. It's going to land on next door's roof. This is infuriating. Come on.
So far this year has been, according to the weatherman, the driest and warmest in 100 years. And as I record this, with the racing season having ended and autumn knocking on the door, September has kind of booked the trend. We haven't been drowning in floodwater, but it has felt oddly grey, a bit like November. The clouds have been hovering around, threatening to wet the washing on the line, and the sun has been equally non-committal about drying it. And because of this, my enthusiasm for cleaning the lofts, catching up with maintenance and all the servicing jobs that need doing, has been missing. Until today, where it actually feels like September. Now, as it's molting season, there are feathers everywhere. Every morning when I look out the window, my pulse races momentarily until I remember the deluge of feathers on the garden isn't from a hawk attack after all. There's copious amounts of detritus, down, leaves and litter collecting in all the nooks and crannies around the loft. All of this needs to go before it gets soggy and rotten as we get further away from the summer just gone. I used to use the jet wash to clean the algae from the path. This side is always in the shade, and with the extra nutrients from the pigeon droppings, it can cover the whole area in a matter of weeks. Now I'm using something that Charlie told me about, and after the last application it stayed clean for 6 months or more, but that could also be down to the dry conditions. With the path clean, I thought I'd also tackle the nest bowls ready for the breeding season. Nothing like getting a face full of rehydrated guano splashed back.
One job that I always forget to do, or just don't do this time of year, is cleaning the nest bowls. And I found last year I was doing it in like January, and it was freezing cold, miserable. All the droppings and stuff had been left on since the season before, the breeding season before, when I was cleaning it. So I thought I'd do it today. And now we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 nest bowls ready to go.
You can see from these old hens where the feathers are coming from. And whilst their racing finished mid-summer, the young birds were still going just a couple of weeks ago. Here's what happened in one of my favourite race days from this young bird season. A federation race from Alnwick with a really annoying bird, and the NRCC Futurity race from Dunbar, Scotland.
You lot are hungry, aren't you? Right, I'll get you some food.
Next year, my youngest son Jasper wants to do more racing, so I'll rope him into filming and hope he takes in something useful.
2 races going on. We've got the NRCC Dunbar Futurity race, which is 201 miles, almost 202 miles. And then we've also got the club race, which is from Alnwick, and that's 154 miles. So they've both gone up at the same time, 7:45 into a south wind. On the house. Right, let's go and get this clock set up. The problem we've got with this clock is the pads are tiny. So the issue we've got is our pad's really small, and the entrance to the loft is quite big. So the birds can land pretty much anywhere on there, and as you can see, we've got to slide it right under there so that when the birds arrive, if the loft is closed, they can't time in. That's the rules. But the problem with that is if I put the pad too far this side and they land and walk in that side of the loft, I'm buggered. So what you can do is narrow the entrance, or you can't put 2 pads together like this. That'd be the obvious thing, just go like that. Can't do that. So what I do is I use 1 pad there, and then I put another one under the drinker in the aviary, so that any birds that arrive late, or any birds that don't clock in, let's say they go too fast through there and it doesn't pick them up, usually the first thing they do is go to the drinker. So put this under the drinker, and then while they're having a drink, I can capture them there, and that's worked quite a few times. The birds just aren't flying fast enough. We've had them all back up to yet. We haven't lost a single bird all season in the racing season. Touch wood. I know I keep saying that, but it's like extraordinary, which is great, but they're just coming so slow. And I think that's down to the fact that, I know a lot of people won't agree with this, but I think it's down to drag. If let's say, let's look at it on here. Right, let's say this square here is where the birds are liberated from. Mm-hmm. And our loft is over here, and there's other lofts over there. Now, we're over here, and there's probably 100 birds coming to this part. And on this side, there's 500 or 600 birds. When they leave, the drag, the pull, most of the birds are going to want to take this line. And it takes quite a brave bird, or group of birds, to go, actually, no, we're going to pull away from the flock and come down this side. What ends up happening is they go there, and then eventually the need to turn off becomes so great that they do, or they get all the way to the other lofts. They go in and they go, oh, we better go home. And then they have to sort of do this extra distance across to our loft. Now, normally, it's usually pretty even. There'll be the same amount of birds that side as this side, and then it's, we're in with a shout. But lately it just doesn't seem to be that way. So I can't piss and moan about it, but it still does make you think, oh God, there's no way our birds that slow. Like some other lofts have got 10 miles overfly on us, which means they're 10 miles further to fly, and yet they're clocking in 7 minutes earlier than us. And our birds aren't unfit, because we train them a lot. And when they arrive, they're not thirsty, they're not panting, they're not collapsing on the landing board. They're just. But at the same time, if they were that good birds, then they would fly home quicker, right? So the important thing about today, Jasper, is there's £4,000 up for grabs if we come first. If we come second, it's £2,000, and then if we come third, I think it's like £1,000. And then it goes down to a few hundreds. It is a lot, yeah.
I know, it's pretty hard to record here because I can't see you on the screen.
Oh, has it gone? Just touch it.
No.
There you go. Yeah, so it's we've only got 1 bird in the Futurity, the NRCC Futurity. I bought 5 rings, but because we only bred so few birds, I only rung 1, and luckily we've still got it, but it's been right at the back. So it'd be nice if it does come. And then we've sent the other 22 to the Alnwick race. 3 hours and 15 minutes. Come on. I think so. Didn't look like it was coming down now. Is that a wood pigeon? I think I was trying to call in wood pigeons now. It looked like a racer, but it had a flight missing. Come on. That's not in a rush though, is it? It's just...
Came from that direction.
Yeah, it's come from the west. Come from the west. That's what's happening. Where is it?
Yeah.
Come on.
Now, I already knew this bird was slow. I'd expected it 15 minutes earlier, but what happens next is so painful to watch back, it's almost embarrassing. Come on. Even though I tried to remain calm, you can hear my frustration in the increased tempo of the shaking. Come on. It's gone to land on next door's roof. Come on. Look at it. Come on. What garbage. I'm overfeeding them. Come on. Come on. Why is it up there? They never do that. On next door's roof. Come on. That's why I need the dropper. I hadn't been using the dropper because I'd found her inconsistent and unreliable. Even with half a wing of feathers missing, she still takes laps, but this was now an emergency. Come on. Come on. To be fair, she did well here, and the racer just wasn't interested in coming down at all. This is infuriating. Now, I'm pretty sure every amateur fancier has instances like this, and those that say they don't are probably telling porkies. Sure, I could probably spend more time drilling them and brainwashing them, but then there'd be less time for filming and editing, so it's the price I pay, I suppose. Oh, on the roof. That came in with one as well, didn't it, Dad? I bet theirs went straight in. It was, yeah, there was two together. Come on. Come on. Come on. He wants to come, but it's... Come on. Come on. You took your bloody time. Come on. There we go. V-ring. How late was that? 26, 22. Infuriating. Overfeeding then, aren't I? No. Andy went a day without food this week. Right, so it's now 12:15. We've got 9 of 22 back from the Anik race. I'm waiting for the checker cock, blue check cock, to come back from the NRCC Futurity race. Now, if he does a similar sort of speed and time as my first bird back from Anik, he's due in 5 minutes. And then he'll fly around for 5 minutes, sit on the loft. Sorry, sit on the roof, the neighbour's roof, and then he'll come in. If he's anything like our first bird. It drives you mad. Makes me think I've probably been overfeeding mine. But some of them have come straight in. The second bird back, didn't film it. The second bird came in from the west, straight in the trap. And then a couple of others have tried to land on the TV aerial. Found that uncomfortable, so then went in. It's very sporadic and weird. Yeah, so in the next 5-10 minutes, I'm hoping to see the Futurity bird come from Dunbar, but anything can happen between here and there. It's nearly 202 miles. I was talking to my dad earlier. He said, what have you done differently this year? No, there's a number of things I've done differently. One is I've not got as many young birds. I started with 20 odd racing. The first race was 23. Normally I've got 40 in the first race.
I've trained them the same, sent them the same sort of distance, the same amount of times. The difference is this year they've not had any illness, and then other differences have been very dry this year. Hardly any wet weather. Don't know if that's had anything to do with it. I think that's why they haven't been ill, because the loft has been bone dry all year. And the other thing with training is usually I put them on a training trailer, but the guy that used to run that has stopped it. He didn't do it this year, and I think that's had a big impact on how mine are flying this year, because usually, here we go. No, yeah. That's a racing pigeon, but it's not mine. Yes, usually on the trainer, they have experience twice a week, going right up country, coming back down and breaking off from the flock. And this year they've just been trained by themselves. And I think, I might be wrong. I'm sure people will think that I'm wrong, but I think that's had an impact. The fact that they haven't had a group training session. There's just been first race, bang, there you go, 1,500 birds. Second race, bang, 1,500 birds, 1,000 birds. And pulling them every which way. And I think they've just now got used to flying that way, because they're all coming out the way, even in a east wind, west wind, north wind, south wind, they're coming out the same sort of direction. Still north, they're not coming out the back. They're coming out over there. Here we go, there's another one. Maybe this is our futurity bird. Come on. Little tail waggle there, happy to be home. No, it's not the futurity. Come on. Oh, that's nice. Come on. That's what we want. A nice trap like that. More of those, please. But that's not our futurity bird. Droopy wings, so a little bit tired, that one. What's that? 259. So that's 10 back of 22 from the Anik race. So yeah, I might be overfeeding them this year, but I've been feeding them to make sure I get them back ready for next year, because I only had 23 to start with. Still no sign of the futurity bird. We've now got 12 from Anik. I'm seeing quite a few racers just crisscrossing over the loft, so there's a lot of confusion going off. Just spoke to a couple of chaps from the club, and they've not had many birds back either. 3 from 9, I think, and 6 from 12. So, between 25 and 50% back, it seems, so far from Anik. And the futurity bird, I've only got one. So we're waiting to see, because nobody else has sent a futurity bird from my club. So they're going to wait and do the clocks if I get my futurity bird back. I would like to have seen it by now, but we know with these NRCC or these futurity races and NRCC races in general, the birds can be a lot slower, because they're being pulled any which way. There's only 100, I think 100 birds in this race for a £20,000 prize pot, so good odds for somebody. Anyway, it's now 12:37. Here we are. Come on. That's not it. We're looking for a checker. Come on. Oh look, feathers out of that one. I wonder if that's been grabbed. That didn't clock either. You bugger. It's not clocked in. I think that one's been grabbed. Looking at the feathers there. That's a bloody... Come on. I don't think that's it. That's a hen. Damn it. Oh, I was excited then. Thought that was the NRC. This is actually a really good idea, because normally on a race, once your first few birds have arrived after the first 10-15 minutes, you sort of lose a bit of interest in how quickly they come. But having a race an hour behind the first race just gives you that second opportunity to do something, especially if there's money in it. So it keeps you engaged a bit longer. I like that. I think we should do more of that and try and have that sort of first race that's closer, and then you don't know if the bird that's coming, is it? No, is it? No. Probably going to be that all day, but hopefully there will be a yes at some point. But yeah, that's good. It's worked out quite good. Even if it doesn't come back, I'm getting a little bit of adrenaline each time I see one now. Come on, you bugger. Come on. This is a check. Come on. That could be it. Come on. No, bollocks. It's not you either. Come on. There's another. Still missing my futurity. This might be it actually, this is another check one. Come on. £2,000 on the line here. Come on. Oh, get in, that's it, come on. That's the one, come on. Come on. Come on. You swine. Come on. Come on. Ah, it's on the wrong side of the loft. They've all just trapped really nicely. Come on. Sometimes if I open this door, is it coming? Is it coming? Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Is it gone? Come on. Oh, shit. Come on. What was that noise? Come on.
Sometimes the sound of food hitting the feeding trough makes the birds want to rush in through the bob wires a lot quicker, and today that seemed to work.
That's not even that one. Oh, well, I'm kind of relieved in one sense. 9:18.
After that, I decided to head inside and get some lunch, as any arrival now would surely be way too slow to win anything.
18. You going mowing, mate? Mm-hmm. Going mowing. Right. Just had a look. And our futurity bird is back. Arrived. What time is it? 20 minutes ago. Bit slow, so probably not much chance of winning any cash, but so we're 3 birds missing in total. So I'm going to verify him now. I don't think we've won any money on that one. He's hours and hours late. I expected him 3 hours ago. So we're queer. 2 hours ago, 2.5 hours ago. Right, so the lowdown of that race is we won the club, even with that first bird having a fag break on the roof. And we won the club by 5 minutes, which is pretty impressive because we must have lost like 5 or 6 minutes with him just sat there, you know, having a cup of tea, taking in his surroundings. However, when we look at the federation results, my first bird was still, even if he'd gone straight in and not sat on the roof, he'd have still been 20 minutes behind the leading group. So he was actually 25 minutes behind. The birds that won were had 10 minutes overfly. So far behind. And then you look at the rest of our birds, you know, we're just so far behind. And I'm not really sure why that is. I do think it's something to do with the training at the start of the season and getting them used to breaking from other groups. I'm gonna try and fix that for next year. I don't think they're unwell because the loft has been so dry. I've had no illness, no symptoms anyway, and it seems to be across the club. Our club seems to be struggling for this second half of the season, or probably 2/3 of the season actually, of the young bird season. We've struggled to do that, so it could be down to drag. Normally in a wind that suits this loft we would do better, but we haven't been doing better, so that's something to work on for next year. So for the futurity bird, I verified it, and when they updated the leaderboard, we were sitting 3rd, I think, and then 5th, then 7th, then 8th, then 10th, and they pay out, the NRCC on the futurity pays out for the first 15 positions, and I think we ended up 17th or 18th, so we're, you know, 2 or 3 positions out. So it was a close one, and I actually, even though we didn't win any money, I really enjoyed that day's racing. Other than our first bird from the Annick race, I just enjoyed it because having that one bird in the futurity, an hour behind as far as liberation time goes, just made the whole day more exciting because there was a chance and every bird that came, you saw it took its wings in and come in. You thought, this is it, and there was, you know, 15 of those. At the end of it, we lost 1 bird. The first bird we've lost of the whole season. We're 1 young bird down, so I don't think that's bad going, really. The great sport of pigeon racing is slowly dying, so I had an idea how to save it. The question is, will it work? Because pigeon racing is this close to being the dodo of British pastimes.
10 years ago, there were over 30,000 fanciers in the UK. Now, there's less than half that number. and the outlook makes for pretty depressing reading too. Half of fanciers don't particularly care. They've got one eye on the exit and are happy to see their time out of the hobby leaving things as they are. The other half are frustrated with the way things are going and are desperate to see the sport they love rebound the way that darts has, and poker, and even archery.
I'm in the latter camp. I want the sport to turn around. Anyone that wants to continue racing beyond 2030, and any companies that supply pigeon fanciers for that matter, should watch the rest of this episode and don't skip a second. I realised that nothing was being done to help the sport, and my little YouTube channel can only do so much, so I began a quest to do more to help the fancy thrive. But first I needed to know, does anyone else really feel the same? We'll have a look at this.
I think there's 2 in the tree.
I'd driven down to Cambridge to see Tim. He was just getting started in pigeon racing and had messaged me on the Facebook page with similar worries about the future of our sport.
So when I first told Kate that I was going to start racing pigeons, I think she thought it was a joke because I'm always coming up with daft things to do, but the idea became a reality when I was on my way up to Newark with a trailer on the back to dismantle that loft and bring it home, and then one thing leads to another, doesn't it? And now she comes out and sees all the timber when I'm building another extension, and very supportive, to be fair. She'll let them out if I can't, and I think the sport, if it's not careful, is going fade into the distance until there's nobody else left to race against. And I think I'm desperate to try and get some people my age into it. Obviously it's difficult, to do it around work and stuff, but it can be done. I don't want to see it disappear. Obviously, grown up seeing my granddad do it, and I think it would be a shame for it to disappear. I think if more people could actually see it, they'd instantly be hooked. I think we need more, to be honest, in this day and age, you just need more content out there that people actually enjoy to get them into it.
Who could possibly do?
Who could do such a thing?
Have you thought about setting up a channel or doing something?
I've thought about it, but then I saw yours and I was put off, to be honest. So if anything, you're having a negative impact.
Shortly after my visit, I had an operation which left me pretty much immobile for a couple of weeks, and that gave me plenty of time to mull over any ideas until I settled on one that I thought could work. But I couldn't do it alone, so...
My main focus is to try and get more people involved in pigeon racing. Between the 4 of us, whether we could come up with something that focuses on growing or at least maintaining it and trying to grow it if we can, delivering it to people that have not necessarily thought about pigeon racing before. It's way more engaging and addictive than I ever thought it would be.
Once you've been in it, it's there for life. And it is exactly what you've described. It's the interest and, the general good feeling you get when you race pigeons. You can never explain to somebody how you feel when you see a pigeon drop that's flown 500 and odd miles. And you see it coming and it drops on the loft.
If you could bottle that up and sell it that would be selling pigeon racing.
I'm definitely interested in being part of it. I think the not-for-profit social enterprise avenue is the avenue to go down.
Yeah. Do you have an idea what we'd need to start up as a figure?
I think a lot of it will come down to what's the primary project, and I think that you've got to pick a few projects and then put a budget to each project and a timeline. And I think the easiest, quickest one would be a loft to get donated that we can put on a trailer, and a budget to go and stand at some of these shows and just have like what you said before that the RPRA had, Ian, where you've got
a mobile display unit.
Yeah, but rather than just a display unit, have the gazebo next to a loft so people can come along, and that wouldn't be very expensive at all.
Now, I didn't want to waste a bunch of time setting all of this up if an organisation that already existed was willing and able to promote the sport. I'd already emailed the Royal Pigeon Racing Association to ask if there was anything they planned to do. I didn't get a reply. I tried again months later when I saw financial accounts that suggested too much money was being wasted that could better be spent promoting the sport. But again, no response.
I have emailed them previously to find out if I can speak to somebody at the RPRA to work out what they're doing for the future of the sport and to question them on the finances of the RPRA. But so far I've had no reply, so I'm going to try calling them now and seeing if I can get them on to the Pigeon Racer TV and just see if I can interview them a little bit and find out, or somebody, hopefully Chris. Let's see if they'll speak to me.
Thank you for calling the Royal Pigeon Racing Association. To enable us to direct your call to the right department, please choose from the following 5 options, and note calls may be recorded for training and monitoring purposes.
Ditto.
You have reached general inquiries. All of our operators are currently busy and you will now be placed in a queue.
Good afternoon. Speaking, how can I help you?
Hello, I was wondering if it'd be possible to speak to Chris Sutton, please.
Oh, he's in a meeting at the moment. Can I take a message? Ask him to give you a call.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. You take care of yourself.
Cheers, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, so he's in a meeting. Hopefully he'll give me a call back. So it looks like nobody else has a coherent plan to promote our sport, and how short-sighted is that, really? So with our attempt to try and improve things at the RPRA failing, watch the video link in the description to see how that one went. We decided that now really was the time to create an organisation that has one single purpose: promote pigeon racing. Not a new union, not a new governing body. This would be a not-for-profit organisation to showcase all that's great about our sport and the history and the culture, but above all, secure the future of pigeon racing. And for that, we'd need a name, a brand and a website.
You were a brave man then, Dan.
It very rarely rings me, so there might be an emergency.
We get sort of the idea that, you know, it's going to be somewhat promotional, but equally informative for like a hub almost for people to come and learn more about pigeon racing and join a membership system, etc. These are very much, you know, they can be built really bespoke to exactly how you want them to be. So it's making sure you go into it knowing exactly what you want it to do.
Ian had secured us a £5,000 grant from the Welsh Government, and this allowed us to get started. We'd got some awesome branding done, and Kelvin from Ather Digital made a start on the website. Meanwhile, we had a delivery.
I was listening to one that was...
Right, Jasper, do you think you can lift that big box? Or this little one? Or should you go around the other side? You grab the other side of this one. Yeah, Jasper, see if you can pick that other box up.
Okay. I can't. Let go. Oh, no, don't let go. You idiot. Don't let go. Oh, sorry. We're going the other way. Knife.
That's not a knife. How strong are you feeling? Right, grab the other end of that. Stand, drop your end. The bag.
Oh, the bag.
Oh right, so the roof must be in there then. You go that side. Don't trap your fingers. Hold the bar. Hold the other bar. Like this. Look, I think we've got to. It opens up.
How's somebody supposed to walk through this?
It'll get taller.
I mean, a 6-foot man comes in and they have to go, oh, and bend in.
It's got like telescopic legs, so we can raise the height of it.
Oh.
Or did you think we all have to talk like this?
Even I'm too small to go. If I walk, my head just hits it. It has to go into the higher part. My head still hits it, I think. Does it?
We'll get it higher.
Having never erected a pop-up gazebo before, I had to enrol the help of my whole family for fear of breaking something.
There we go. Oh.
And then lift the leg up.
I can't.
You got it? That's it. Then don't drop it.
Keep your pin pulled out.
You don't have to keep your pin pulled out. You can
Just lift it all the way up, Jazz, lift it taller. Keep going, Jazz. And then is it locked in?
Yeah.
Did yours clip in? Did you hear it click?
Yeah.
There we go.
You said I couldn't do it.
No, I didn't say you couldn't do it. That's why I got you to help me. So this is the Pigeon Pathways gazebo that we've had built. Bright pink to sort of get people's attention. And the plan is to take this on the road with some pigeons and some pigeon paraphernalia and go and visit like the steam shows, country fairs, things like that, and try and encourage people to take up the sport. So this is part one of the project. The next thing that we need to accompany this, at the side of our pitch, wherever it might be, is one of these, a loft, like a lightweight loft that we can sort of take on a trailer or in the back of a van, erect it, put some nice pretty birds in there, some racers in there, and just sort of show people what it would look like having a loft on your back garden. And we're going to be there meeting people and trying to encourage them to take up the sport. I think it needs some positivity anyway. So really pleased with this. It's very sturdy. I think it looks all right, doesn't it? And we've got the QR code there, so if you take a photo of that, then it opens up the new Pigeon Pathways website that we've had built.
I got to the whole website. I want to show the cameraman.
Go and do it then.
So you go up to it and then you put it over and then it says pigeonpathways.com. Tap on it. Oh. Can I sign up with my... No, I want to sign up with my email.
Do you?
You know, my Gmail account. Can I?
Sure thing.
Yay!
Now the idea behind the website is that you will have... It's designed for newcomers to the racing pigeon sport. And it's also designed for people that want to help the sport progress and help with to secure the future of the sport. So we need a bunch of things now. We need to raise some funds so that we can have a loft built, like a lightweight loft that we can transport, erect in a few hours or in an hour, and put some birds in there so people can see. Or if there's a loft manufacturer out there that would like to donate one to us, that'd be great. Stick your logo on it. Then we also need people to turn up. So if we go to these country fairs and shows, then we're going to want local fanciers that want to help in the cause of, you know, promoting the sport, come along and help man the stand basically and talk to the public. And if you're a member of a union, if you've got a union or a club and you want us to let people know about you, that you exist, one of the things that that a lot of people say is they can't find their local club. They don't know how to get hold of their local club. On the website, we're building a map. So if you're a member of a club, a secretary of a club, then you can drop a pin and say this is where your club is, so people can find local clubs to them.
Over a year ago, I went to visit Nigel Laycock, who's well known in the sport. I'd forgotten about this conversation because I didn't use it at the time, but I remember I didn't tell him about Pigeon Pathways straight away because I wanted to hear his own opinion on how to save the hobby.
Where do you think the sport's going to be in 10 years' time?
Well, unless things are turned around drastically, it's not going to be in a good place.
Because my concern with it is I don't see any effort to get new people into it. What would you like to see then? What would you like to see happen?
Well,
not necessarily with the RPRA, but just in the sport.
The big shows. I mean, the Blackpool show. For years, I always thought it would run for the RPRA, and from that, it was, you know, there was money allocated to different charities. But there was money also for the RPRA, which I don't believe there is now. I don't think it's been run like that. The Blackpool show should be run now for the RPRA, for the pigeons, you know, for pigeon racing. I think, yeah, it were great to give charity, but I've been at Pigeon Game 50 some years. I've never actually seen anything what any of them charities have given to. I've never seen it in my area. And I just think now, I think we've got to start and look at it as, hang on a minute, we've given enough to charity. We need to now put the money back into the pigeon sport and try and revamp it. I think it'll be really, really hard because I think it's I think kids are so different today. I don't think you'd be looking at the younger generation. I think the generation you'd be looking at are people that settle down, that just want that little bit of an hobby. And I think that'd be the better, you know, age group to go at.
Yeah. No,
But-
I'm one of them, I guess. That's why I kind of.
Now, years ago, I once I put it in one of the pigeon books that it'd be a good idea to have a pigeon stand at the county shows,
Yeah.
but also other things with it, not just a stand. Now, they had a stand at the Great Yorkshire Show, and it showed you pigeons in war and different things. But what I wanted, it's a 4-day now. On some of them days, have an open race, have it organised with the Great Yorkshire Show, where a small trailer transporter is taken onto the main arena. They can do it now on big screen.
Yeah.
Liberate the birds, and
Yeah.
at the same time have it over on the tannoy, explaining to people exactly what's happening, where these birds are going,
Yeah.
and then have different lofts all there with cameras ready, where they can film the birds coming home and then put it onto the big screen at Great Yorkshire Show.
Music to my ears. So that's what you'd like to see.
That's what I'd like to see.
Well, as it happens, for the last year, I've been trying to put together some sort of organisation that can do that kind of thing.
Yep.
And so it's not been, nobody knows yet, but it's been sorted. So we're now a registered community interest company, so non-profit.
Right.
And I've put together this, there's just a few of us at the moment. And the idea is we wanted to create something that people could, it's nothing to do with RPRA governing whatever, it's literally to get people interested in the sport. The cultural significance of the sport,
Right.
but also getting new people into it. And so what we're trying to do, it's called Pigeon Pathways, CIC. And so we've got help to get it funded, to get it organised and to get it sorted. And one of the first projects we're looking at is to buy a trailer, a display trailer, that does exactly that. It has to show you the history and the cultural significance to like mining towns, industrial towns, things like that, where it was big. But then also trying to show people how to get into it and where it's going, like the future of it, and try and get people into it. But the idea is to go to those shows, Southall Ploughman Match, Steam shows, Yorkshire Show, Yorkshire Festival, what's that big
You want
agricultural
somewhere,
one.
I think you want somewhere where it's agriculture, because you've got people there that's interested in livestock.
That's the idea. Yeah, it's
They'll never be able to own a bull and cows and sheep, but they could have pigeons.
Animal husbandry and stuff, right? So because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I've been to these and I've never seen anything to do with pigeons. And then in the middle where they have the arena, where they have the steam wagons rolling through and old classic cars, and then people doing in sheepdog trials or bulls or whatever it is walking around, there's going to be a club that's 100 miles away that would do a training toss or a race from that. So you don't need to pay for anything.
That's what you want.
That's exactly what. So that's the plan. That's the But to organise it, it's all going to be funded. It's going to be it's all voluntary. So none of us get paid.
Right.
And that's a big thing about it, is we can't get paid for any of the work we do. It's purely voluntary. And so what we'll do is we'll have a membership. So it'll be 10, 20 quid, whatever it is a year. And people just become a member and they get voting rights to decide what we do with the pot of money that we get. So we'll apply for grants. We'll do some pigeon sales and all sorts of different activities to get a pot of money. And the whole point of that pot of money is get the promotion of the sport. It's purely push the sport. Get people learning about the history of it, but also get people to take it up.
Right.
So there's nothing else that money needs to be spent on. So if people become a member, it's kind of like a donation almost, right? And then there'll be other things that we do to try and raise extra money.
You see what?
Which is exactly what you've just said that you want to see.
When you stop and look at the general public and how ignorant they are to pigeon racing.
Yeah.
If only what pigeon men have done for donkey's years is they've raised literally millions of pounds.
Yeah.
But then just told each other by putting it in pigeon books or pigeon associated.
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody knows about it.
They haven't got it out there to general public.
Well, that's exactly what this is about.
Exactly.
And why it's go to the shows, get it filmed. So I'll be doing a lot of filming of it and try and get people, show everybody else what's happening with it. And then the other thing is then getting people involved. So we've got a couple of people that will be offering to offer up birds. Would you be interested in putting a bird for? And another thing I thought you might be interested in helping with is people. I mentioned doing a moot, which I'd never heard of until you mentioned it, for beginners, people that want to get involved, but online because they can't travel. So I was going to try and organise something like that where it's a £5 to watch or whatever it is, or a few quid, or do donations on it. So if I can get a few people together, and then people can send in their questions, and we'll do it live on like a live stream.
Yep.
I thought you've done a few moots yourself. Would you be up for doing that?
Not a problem.
Brilliant.
Yep.
There we go. So that's
great.
so there is. So at least now there is some organisation going, and then there's plenty of opportunities to get involved and help it.
Wife always says I've got an answer for everything, so
yeah,
it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, there we are. There we are. So the website is almost complete, but we're going to need some help from you, the fanciers and viewers. The map of clubs needs to be populated by representatives of clubs that want to be listed. So potential members will visit the website, put their postcode in, and then they should see a list of all the clubs local to them. We can then connect the two. Now, although it's all free and all the work we've done is and will continue to be voluntary, Pigeon Pathways will need a budget. So if you want to support us, you can donate any amount you like by clicking on the Donate Now button on the website, pigeonpathways.com. And there's also an option to be even more involved, whereby you can pay to become a member. It's a one member, one vote system, and that will mean you can help decide which activities and projects we undertake to promote the sport. If you're flush with cash, then you can pay to be a member and donate a few quid too. Just to reiterate though, this is a community interest company. Myself and the other founders are volunteers, and all the rules and our articles of association can be found in the About Us section on the website. There'll be a lot more to come on the website as it progresses. But one thing I think some of you will be interested in right now is the poster. The thing is, we're never going to get new people into the sport if people don't even know that it exists. So the other year I was spending a penny in the pub, and on top of the urinal there was a little poster. There was some cancer checkup or cars or something. And it made me think, this is the perfect way to get people into the sport at a local level. So we had these posters designed. Check these out. And you can go to the Pigeon Pathways website, download these, and then write the name of your club and a contact number, and then go and put them in the local pub or the post office, the shop, your notice board outside the village hall. So I'm going to give that a try and see if it actually works. And it costs, 20 pence to print one of these posters. And there's also a little QR link here so people can scan that, and then it'll take them to the Pigeon Pathways website so they can learn a little bit more about racing pigeons. Because the truth is, unless you know somebody that races pigeons, or you regularly go to a working men's club, which a lot of people are probably scared to do, how are you going to get involved with it? How are you going to learn about it? How are you going to approach somebody? So when I first decided I wanted to start racing pigeons, I didn't have a clue how I would find where to go. And there was very limited amount of information on the internet. And it was only by chance that I drove past somebody that was training their birds. I stopped and asked him, and he told me where to go. I don't know, told me where to go. He told me to go to the pub, and it was actually that day, that night, and I went along. But a lot of people will be intimidated by that. So this is a good way, I guess, of getting people's attention. They can find out a little bit more on the phone, give them direct access to you. So here we go, we're gonna fill this out. Oh shit. Let's go and put these in some shop windows. Right, just got some cash out of the bank. Go find some shops. Hello. You don't have posters on the wall anymore, you don't do it anymore?
Not anymore.
No, okay, do you know anywhere that does?
Probably any other shop on that.
Right. Anyone here? Okay, cheers. Brilliant, perfect. Look at that. You can join you now. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, there we go, perfect. Brilliant. Got myself a bacon sandwich as well. Right, let me see if I can get one in the town hall in Bolton. Able to use the stairs. That worked well. So I spoke to a lady there, Janine, and she said she's going to photocopy that and then put it in the other notice boards that they've got around the village. And she also told me to email the editor of the local paper, send him a photo and a little article, and they'll hopefully get that put in as well, which goes to 6,000 people in the village, so in the town. So all worthwhile. So nobody else has got an excuse. We've designed you a poster, print it off, and get yourself out there and get some more members in your club. So hopefully Pigeon Pathways can be a vehicle to promote our sport and get more flyers into the clubs. Please share this video everywhere, and more importantly, get on the site pigeonpathways.com to sign up, donate, or do both. The more budget we have, the more we can do. Remember, we're never going to get newcomers joining if they don't even know the sport exists. There's also a Facebook page you can join. Just search for Pigeon Pathways on Facebook. Right, let's see if this works.